Welcome to Unit 6 on Genetics and Biotechnology, Day 1. My name is Laura, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to use Jamboard to support English language learners in the science classroom. And this is a teacher-facing video. First, I'm just going to remind you how to use the basic features of Jamboard. The first thing, just to access to Jamboard, just have to go to jamboard.google.com, and it's going to open automatically because you are signed in Google. So when I do that, I can create a new project by clicking this plus sign right here. So a new project is going to open, and on the top, you can see 1/1. That means that you only have one slide, but I can add 2 or 3 or as many as I would like to. This is especially useful if you have multilingual learners because on slide number 1, I usually have the assignment, and on slide number 2, I have extra directions or vocabulary, home language for my multilingual learners. So I find it very useful. Right here, I'm just gonna call it genetics, for instance. All right, and some of the most important features are just right on the left. I love the sticky notes. You can change the colors and you can write whatever you want. The students can use the sticky notes to collaborate all together. I sometimes use the sticky notes when I play videos for my students and I want them to tell me, for instance, main ideas from a video or an article. All right, okay. I can move this from one place to the other, and I can also rotate. All right. So I can add an image in here if I want. A new thing that Jamboard has included, and you can have an image from Google if you want. So I'm just gonna select and insert. All right. Okay. Excellent. I can write. All right, and I can change the color and the type of the pen that I use. I can also erase. This is my mouse, and those are the sticky notes, and these are shapes. I have circles and squares and triangles, etc. All right, perfect. And this is the pointer. Okay, so if I'm explaining the class, I can use the pointer, and it fades off. Perfect. So these are the basics of Jamboard. I can set the background if I want to. I can clear the frame. I can zoom in and zoom out, and I can go back to what I had. Whenever I share with my students, I am very careful because when you get link, by default is restricted to only people that you can add in here. So you can add people right here, right? But you don't want to do that with your students. Probably what you want to do is you want to change their settings in here, and you want to simply anyone with the link can view or can edit. That's how I selected for my students to be able to collaborate together. I copy the link and I click done, and once I finish, I can copy and paste the link so students can access to the Jamboard that I just created. All right, and you might be wondering, why did I decide to talk today about Jamboard? So I did it because today, Unit 6, Day 1, actually opens with a Jamboard activity. So I just wanted to make sure that you know how to use the technology before we dive into the class. The title of this unit is Genetics and Biotechnology, and we are launching the unit today. We are going to go to page number 4, where we have the explanation for the unit. So this slide introduces students to the units anchor phenomenon of plants that can be used for medicinal purposes. Students are going to read an article about the Indian long pepper plant, a plant that contains compounds with medical applications, and share the responses to this article and their prior knowledge of medical plants in Jamboard. You will need to make a copy of this Jamboard template for each of your classes and will need to paste the link to that Jamboard in the red text box at the bottom of this slide. All right. So we are going to click right in here and we are going to make a copy of this Jamboard template. I click on the link. This is what I see. I see how the frame is divided in 4 questions, and I also see how this is view only. The first thing I have to do is to sign in. Once I signed in, I can see that now I can click on these 3 dots right here and I can make a copy. So I'm just going to make a copy and put it on my drive. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Now that I have it on my drive, I'm free to use it the way I please. So this is the copy that I create for me. And if I want to support my English language learners, one thing that I can do, for instance, is to translate some of these sentences to home language. In this case, I'm adding the translation for my students, but if I don't want to add the translation of the entire sentence, I can only add the translation of one of the words. For instance, in here, students are asked to talk about the chemicals that are part of that plant. So I can just maybe go ahead and write down that chemicals means químicos in Spanish. My students speak Spanish, most of them, but that may not be your case. So you're going to have to work with the languages that your students speak in the classroom. To support your English language learners, instead of translating, maybe you rather highlight important words so they know that the questions are related to those, and these help them to look for their specific information as they read the text. As I said before, you can add other slides to offer extra help for your students, such as maybe you want to give them different rules or definitions of words, or maybe you're allowing them to write in the home language, or you want to give them sentence starters. To make it easier for me, I can click on the sentence and the 3 dots appear, and I can duplicate the sentence and even paste it in another page. So here on slide number 2, I added help for my multilingual learners in case they need it. I did add sentence starters for the different questions that we had, and I also added some cognates or translated words that are appearing throughout the reading. So this is how I'm supporting my multilingual learners in the classroom through Jamboard.